Second article. Got another article. This one right here. What Cobra Kai's Ralph Macchio thinks about Hilary Swank's comments about not being invited to the show. Wow. Okay, let's get into this. Cobra Kai has found ways to incorporate just about every major star of the Karate Kid franchise and give their characters chances to grow. As of season 5's end, we have had every major villain Daniel LaRusso took on, but there's still one glaring omission in the guest star lineup, and fans desperately they want to see Hilary Swank. The next Karate Kid star has said that she's still waiting on her call to be in the Netflix series, and Ralph Macchio has some thoughts on that. Okay, so Cinema Blend. This is the writers on this article. They spoke to Ralph Macchio about his book, Waxing on the Karate Kid and Me, which is loaded with the actors' personal stories about working on the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. Of course, we talked about that a minute ago. Macchio also talks about other projects he wasn't really heavily involved in, like the next Karate Kid. So it seemed like a great time to ask if he'd seen Hilary Swank's comments about her not being called and whether he'd like to see it happen. Like this Europe here, he shared. I know, I read that. I think, listen, most of this rests on John Horowitz, Josh Heald, and Halen Schlossenberg, who create the show, and the writing staff. We're always very collaborative, and we always talk through things. They are great listeners, and that's why, like I said, they care, and I care. So I think that's why everything's working. I think there's certainly room in the Miyagi-verse, and I completely agree. They need to write her in here somehow. I don't know where, but these guys know Cobra Kai. Obviously, they created it. They need to figure out where she can be in this show. They need to figure out, they need to get it going. Ralph Macchio wanted to make it clear that, while he's one of the stars in Cobra Kai, having Hilary Swank appear in the series as Jolie Pierce, that's right, that's her name, Jolie Pierce, isn't really up to him. That falls on the shoulders of the co-showrunners, who once told Cinema Blend that they discussed plans for if Swank ever reprised her role. It sounds like she's open for it too, you guys. Those discussions evidently haven't resulted in a phone call of any kind. Wow. Hilary Swank not appearing in Cobra Kai doesn't sound like a slight to the actress of her contribution to the Miyagi-verse. In a case anyone thought that after hearing she hasn't received a call to join. Ralph Macchio continued with his thoughts about Jolie Pierce meeting up with Daniel LaRusso and finished with his honest thoughts on where things stand with inviting her. This is another direct quote. You would imagine that Jolie Pierce and Daniel LaRusso knew each other, even though we don't have those scenes, and I'm not a part of that specific film. These guys just amaze me all the time with what they are able to create, and the fact that they just don't create it for fan service. They really create stories that work and enhance the characters, and they really do truly do that, and they do a phenomenal job with it. And the fact that it is fan service as well is why I think it's working on all cylinders. So there's my long answer to the short question that I really don't know, but I expect if there's an opportunity, it will be taken up on. Ralph Macchio can't give any guarantees, but it sounds like he'd expect Cobra Kai to offer Hilary Swank a chance to return should the story call for it, in fact, and the timing works out. With that said, there's no telling if the timing will work out anytime soon, as Swank recently announced that she's expecting twins. Oh, I did not know that. Oh, she's pregnant. Wow. Well, that's not going to happen then. Like, how's she going to be able to be in the... Oh, gosh. I can imagine that she might not be down for any classic intense fight scenes. Exactly. Of course, we're still waiting on the official word. Isn't she, like, getting older? Wow, she's getting older. She's getting to... Wow. Of course, we're still waiting on that official word that season 6 is happening, but hopefully that as well as a future Swank appearance as Jolie Pierce will be confirmed in the coming months. So there it is, guys. That's the current status on where it stands with Hilary Swank's character. So, hopefully we get an opportunity to see her, at some point on the show. But I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds like it is completely 100% up to the showrunners whenever it comes down to it. And that is completely 100% understandable whenever it comes to that. So, but yeah, guys, that's wow, that's something else.